Okay, Facebook Live. So I'm here in what we call it the Howard Finster Vision House Museum campus, and so I got about an acre of land, 5 plots, abandoned county road stuck in between. We've cleared it many times, and you gotta be careful where you walk down here. Even on my land, as I like to say, I come down here and I like to stay on my land. I enjoy that. I don't mind running out to the Walmart, go get a little Mexican food. Tortacos, our local favorite, although we went to El Pueblito and it was awesome. So now kind of right where I started, that's the hi Paul, right where I started. So anyways, right about here. So from this way, that way is my land. And so I'm not going to walk backwards, kind of get the reverse view as we get up here. Now you've seen it before there on some of my Facebook albums, but that's the land of the chimneys back there. And well, it certainly looks a lot different when that house was set ablaze, and even after, when it's all calm and cleaned out. My friend Wayne Heineman felled that tree and cut it a bunch, and so we had the amazing addition of what is it, John and Zoe, and they John went to NIU right when I did, and he's friends with the old friend. Here's my half of a burned out house, and when I look at that, I see a brick contemporary art museum. Yeah, so I just have to build it, but you get here's the burned out house, and then you look over there, and then there's my studio house. There's the Vision House too, and you just have to build it and have determination to have bits of discernible progress. So now here we are. Now we call this the DLG studio house, and just this past trip they put that vinyl siding on that whole section, so that was like a huge deal. And then they got some extra, but yeah, I mean, we put all 4 of those windows in. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. We put all 4 of those windows in this year, and the siding. So that's pretty good, and cleared up this land. I'm trying to figure out these bricks they're more for building than really paving, because they have the mortar in the middle. So I don't know, but I have those bricks from that land of the chimneys, and I really want to grab those, and I had grabbed some of them because I like them. They're flat red Dalton bricks. My friend Matt Dalton likes that, and those would make a nice path in the front of the house over here. So yeah, I was scraping on this door and didn't quite get it, and we have to flip the doors around. And so that next trip, the guys are gonna put in another door, and then we have to work on that door. And so yeah, that was the leftover from the $10,000 in yard work cleaning this whole entire area down there. And yeah, this is who's in there. Oh, hey D-Lot. Hey, what's up, my man? I am in down there in the Georgia. So now back there, this land is normally swampy. There's a spring in there, but it has been 95 degrees for like 4 months down here since the end of get in the shade. Oh man, you make sure you love that. Oh hey cousin, there you go. You make sure you make use of that shade, even though I have this habit of, hi Hugh McLeod down in Georgia, I have this habit of chopping the trees down, because then down here it's a crazed jungle, and then there's poison ivy and poison oak and every old thing, and then you kind of can't walk around. And now here I am pleasantly walking around. I didn't quite go into the other side of the land over there. I was almost gonna do it. You can kind of see there's a little path, and that's gotten overgrown. But and then here's the DLG studio house. Boom, there you go. And right there next to that window above that horizontal David Leonardis gallery sign, we are designing a banner, howardfinster.com. Looking forward to seeing you. Yeah. Well, we try not to give the naysayers too much time, so I'll probably delete that comment later, but or you could. And but yeah, you know, there are a few here or there, but I'm always about overcoming the obstacle. You know, overcome the obstacle. So Paradise Gardens got their giant grant, and they kind of really don't need me over here, and yet here I am. And so my plan to turn that into sugar is we're just gonna make this so incredibly cool, and just keep on. I'm gonna build a giant retaining wall right here that's gonna go from that house right there in that corner to kind of in the middle of that garbage there. There's the fence line, and so we're gonna elevate the land, and then we're gonna be able to build a giant tower right there next to the that's the Howard Finster Vision House. And you can see the door to nowhere. You've heard of the road to nowhere. And yeah, the door to nowhere, we're going to build a giant Howard Finster World's Folk Art Church homage tower. So that'll be awesome. And the giant tower is going to be there, and they'll be able to see into the garden. And you know, at that point, well, some sort of a détente will have to be reached. But yeah, so I don't know if part of my détente is getting this tree to stop encroaching onto my land. You see all that there. But we had old John was down here, and might as well go on down. So here's the DLG studio house. You can see the side of this needs some work, but next trip, boom, we're gonna do that siding. It's gonna be awesome. And so yeah, down here, old John shows up and helps me detail that path. You always got to be careful you're not actually walking on a giant anthill. I've learned that down here. So you kind of look around pretty carefully. That brick path was built by Howard Finster, and this is the original entrance to the Paradise Gardens. And of course you see this tree. Here I am on my land, and all of that is going on to my land on a constant basis. In Chicago you can fix things and pretty much that's it. You fix it and there it is. But down here you fix stuff and got to go back and fix it again. This is a super cool, you can see it real well in there. Sure, you can probably see it. That is a wishing well made by Howard Finster. And this was Howard Finster's house. And so right on up there, yeah, so yeah, and then up on over there, you can kind of see it. So right on up here, I'll just go up here, we'll look at it one more time though, but you can see the porch swing. So that porch swing, that was Howard Finster's porch swing, and he built the back of this house on here for his children to live in, and made it a little apartment. And so here we go. I guess I'm sitting right there in it. And oh yeah, there's the path. So you see that brick path? And then that's the view that Howard Finster would have of the Paradise Gardens. And take a little moment. Gotta learn to watch that heat down here. I was down there on the path the other day picking up weeds and in the front, the pear tree, picking up the dead pears, and we're preparing, and I haven't quite gotten this together. I'm going to get Howard Finster Vision House Museum campus pears. Oh yeah, jarred pears. So we have this pear tree, and we'll go by it and look at it. There's some on there. We cleaned up all the dead ones, and right there on the spot, pear fell, hit the ground, and I gave that to Mark of Mark and Tim Construction. Tim DeBerry, that's right. And he ate it, and it was awesome. I've had them before. They're just succulent, beautiful, amazing peaches. And so yeah, it's a pretty nice view down there. And then we look over here. Here's the, so if you can see that, yeah, that's a giant mural. So there is a giant mural that's right there, and you can see where it flaked off. That's where probably some more of that oil paint was. And over here on the other side, this was, it's funny because this was all painted before I got here. I can really kind of see it a little more specifically. Right there's a picture in one of the Howard Finster books of right here, the spot where I'm standing, and because again, this is his porch, and there's a beautiful Virgin Mary there. It's beautiful. And so I had tried to get the lady from the, what is it, the Conservation Center, the Chicago Conservation Center. That's again an example of some of the detractors, man. People don't always want to help you, so you just got to make it happen yourself. All right, I'm gonna walk around this way, and we'll go up. You see that there is a part of the sculptural bicycle tower that we've built. Howard has a giant bicycle tower. I do have more pieces, and can ever get like a little more help and a little more money, I mean, I always come down little bits of discernible progress. I'm getting that shade again. Little bits of discernible progress. And so, there's only so much I can do, but we always get some great progress. And we get the sink in the studio house and the side. And this here was a little Coca-Cola room. So this whole side is kind of really something that needs to be we need a giant sponsorship mural right there. So I had talked about to the one restaurant in town. Oh, this is a fresh pear. Let's see how fresh it is. Yeah, that came down. Oh, that's so fresh. Yeah, I had already went through with a giant bag. Maybe I didn't hit this exact spot so much. That's right. Kind of more on the inside. But here's the pear tree. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Let's check it out. As you can see up there, there's still a bunch of pears. And I'm pretty sure the neighbors that come and they shook the tree and they grabbed all the pears, and they're making the Vision House pears, and they didn't really leave me a basket, but I've been learning more and more. Mike, I've been learning. Here's our sign, is all sun-drenched as can be. Probably got to get that redone. It's kind of nice though. It just turns into a black and white. So now this is a real big thing. If you can see it, there you go. So that's about 8 foot by 4 foot section of, and you can see this whole area here. This really needs it. And then we had looked up this tree here. Can you see it in there? Oh, there they are. Yeah, I guess they're like little oranges, little strange oranges. And send this orange on over yonder. So there's down the road a piece, and then there's down yonder, or over yonder. So here we have the Howard Finster Vision House museum, people who have contributed their time, money, and energy to the museum, and $120 cash or 2 days hard labor, and we'll put your name right on up there. And a bunch of names. Most of those are, well, they're about half and half, you know. I never raise too much money, but a little bit always helps. And all right, so I've been thinking, actually, maybe I should do the walk-in to the Vision House without my beautiful face. So you folks will get to take a break from me, and let's just go on in to the Howard Finster Vision House. We're going to start it. We're going to start right here on the corner. Okay, on the sign, and go. All right, welcome to the Howard Finster Vision House Museum. Don't be bullheaded. God loves a peacemaker. Peace is rest for any creature. And that's a beautiful, amazing piece that I have. I have the original in Chicago, and it's $10,000. It's a pre-number piece. And so you see in here, we want to redo this whole path. And we got to pull up the old granite that we put in there. We got a bunch of more stacked up underneath that sign, actually, and got to make that whole thing all really nice. I always just want as much discernible progress as I can for Howard Finster. Howard Finster was nicer to me than anybody but my mama, and this was his house. I bought it, and I just think it's the least that I can do to make it look great and make that be a whole, memorial situation. But part of our memorial situation, we also do have the gift shop. So any good museum's got their gift shop, and we have all the Howard Finster prints, and those are all available on howardfinster.com. DLgalleries.com has the Finster Museum section that really has it showcased. Excuse me. My mother's bird houses and little boxes in there, those are available. The signed limited edition Howard Finster silkscreen prints, published by yours truly. And we offer the black and whites. Got a couple articles. I'm going to be, I like to frame up articles and have access to framing. You frame stuff. So this right here is the State of Georgia issued National Register of Historic Places, and you'll see it showcases the entire Howard Finster's Paradise Gardens, and it's that up top corner. That's us. Boom. So yeah, we're on there. Let's see. So this is the studio suite. I don't know. We could look in here. Why not? Here's the studio suite, and there's the private entrance, and we got the, ooh, it's cool in here. And right, we got our little kitchen in there, kitchen, bathroom, little kitchen situation. I'm actually going to make a very lovely omelet here in a little bit. So yeah, we have to do some more work in there, and then we'll be offering Airbnb situations. I got it worked out. I'm pretty sure we get about 20 beds if we need to out of the two houses. So anyways, if you're going to have an art museum, you got to have a permanent collection. So this is all permanent collection, Howard Finster pieces that I've collected, and this is just a neat little, you can see it. It's from the Olympics, a little pin, and Howard Finster did a giant concrete installation there. I think they call that Centennial Park. We have the map over here. Down at the bottom, that's the REM Reckoning bandana, very cool piece. And I like this because I gave Howard Finster this catalog I made, and then he cut out some of the images that I had, and used them in a piece that he made on his own. Here's the Howard Finster ties. And those are the original tie boards. And ties made, there's the front, there's the neck, no, there's the back, front, back, and the neck. There you go. And yeah, so I didn't really hit this section with the cobwebs as much as we have on the others. We got here and we started doing some pretty serious construction work. Yeah, that's part of the museum. You got cobwebs. Keep it going. But yeah, there's the DLG studio house, soon to have beautiful siding. It's going to look beautiful. We'll finish the roof. And then there's the studio, or the Howard Finster's Paradise Gardens. So it's hey, Greg Hayward. That's my cousin. So this is my Howard Finster Museum, and this is, we're in the museum collection, the private collection. And these are all, this was the first Howard Finster t-shirt. It really kind of started with this after I'd been collecting Howard Finsters. I would eat on the job and spend all of my money on Howard Finsters, and all of a sudden I had a bunch of Howard Finsters, and so I developed a relationship with Howard Finster, and we agreed to let me make a silkscreen of this. And so we did the t-shirt, and you can see it signed there. That's nice. And so later on, we figured out, well, you might want to make those on works on paper. And so Howard Finster went on to tell me that if anyone's soul ever gets, here, you can picture him saying it, this would have been the man who I was dealing with, the Finster Tide, and he would say, if anyone's soul ever gets saved because of one of your Finster prints, you get an extra credit point in heaven. And he'd lick his finger and put that up. But such a nice old man, and this is a cool thing. I mean, you can't really see it with this camera, but there in the middle is that little piece on paper, Augusta. That little piece on paper, that's a hand-drawn deed, and here's like a really rare English REM ad. The REM single is really rare, and now these are all in the Howard Finster wood-burn molding, which used to be available from Alan Wilson, who still owes me 1,800 feet of molding, and I've been holding my breath for about 10 years to get it. So yeah. These are some Michael Finsters. Now, this is a fantastic collection right here. So, yeah, up at the top and in the middle there, you can see these are the baby doll furniture is what he used to call it. And you can see there's all these, there's a bottle, there's a little wagon, there's these different chairs, a dresser, and these little different detail things, and the strips of the wood-burn molding, and that molding was made by Howard Finster. And there's an old gourd I had. We found these in the yard, probably from Mr. Lowry. Those are super old. And that right there was purchased the day before Howard Finster died by myself when I showed up there, and it's number 46,976. It was right after September 11th, 2001, and I wanted to see what my old friend Howard Finster had to say, and went down there, and don't you know, Mrs. Finster told me that, you know, Howard can't sign any prints today, David. And I said, well, Mrs. Finster, I just wanted to see Howard, and here's the Centennial Park plans. And we went there to see Howard Finster, and don't you know, my mom would say the legions of angels were hovering above the Reverend Howard Finster, and touched him on the shoulder, and he said, well, I'm not feeling so good, but you go get some food out of the icebox. And that's the kind of man he was, giving with his dying breath. And so year after Mrs. Finster called, or Howard died, Mrs. Finster called and asked me if I wanted to buy his studio. And so here's his painted shoe, and this clump was there because I was there, right? And you see that red clay. That next few days, they buried Howard Finster, and then Mrs. Finster, about 10 years later, she wanted to be buried in Alabama, where her family is from, and Howard Finster's family is from there too. And so you see this little rock. Well, that's from his second and now final resting place. But there's his jacket and pants, and I just love this. This is a signed sermon by Howard Finster, and you can see how it's all folded up, and you can tell, it was in his pocket after it was done. And here he is wearing in the Raw Vision ad the same Howard Finster jacket. And these were in the yard. These were hand painted, and that's all Howard Finster right on there. And this big wheel came with the house. Michael Finster, I have an extensive Michael Finster collection, and you have to kind of continue to, we're stacking this up pretty good. Those, 1, 3, 5, those pieces down there are going to go up the top, and it's just a lot of work to keep it all going, but I just keep it going. It's fun. This one piece is super nice. It's David and Goliath. I like that one, Michael Finster. And then the Michael Finster 10 Commandments. And then next to that is Frank Pickle. Hi, Deborah Zawayer. You have Finsters. Frank Pickle is Michael Finster's stepfather. And then a couple of the number pages. Some more Michael Finsters. These are super cool. If you can see that, these sconces. And those are signed in pencil by Howard Finster on the back. I have about 70-ish Michael Finsters, and they were always just more rare, so I just always grabbed them and kept them and collected them, and lo and behold, I opened my own museum. So this is our front room. Now, nobody told me that you're supposed to put a gutter on the house that didn't have a gutter, and the water from the roof hit the cement and rotted the wall. Unbelievable. So we have to redo it, and we're still redoing it, but now I got the real good construction crew, and we're just shoring up the DLG studio house, and then the Vision house is going to start getting major bits of discernible progress. So this is the REM Reckoning poster, and that is the giant snake mountain, which is visible right from the back of the DLG studio house. And the Athens Inside Out, John was telling me that he saw that video and he moved there for his master's like the next day or something, and and so that's what brought him to Atlanta. And then now that man and his daughter and then the daughter's friends are going to help me. Now these are my collection of 36 signed limited edition silkscreen prints made by the Reverend Howard Finster. And so you saw that t-shirt, and it starts off there with this is the first print that we did. The other one we did that one after, and so that one was edition of 25. This is edition of 100, and I can't really say I have any more of those for sale. Sorry, Spider. Why don't you bring me a cutting water on the way over? The Devil's Vice. Those two are sold out now. We do have some ants. I just got 1 or 2 left of the Howard in 1976. I have 1 or 2 of the Uncle Sam 8-color silk screen 2500. Beautiful Hank Williams 10-color silk screen. And I do have a couple of those 2500. Yeah, we have these. You can see them there on dlgalleries.com. Go to the Finster section. Check out the Finster Museum section. And I'm just so proud of this incredible collection of work. And then that one, Howard Finster 2 David, the wolf is the most popular, and they're all sold out, but I got to keep that one for the museum. And then up there, that's the original to the Happy Birthday Howard one. There's two of them, and the giant angel, which I guess, I don't know where that is. We have that, oh yeah, that's another room. And so yeah, the camel right here, this was my first piece, and I bought that from Peter Mars, the now defunct Mars Gallery. And yeah, I had to get a job there, and then learned about being an art dealer and opened up my own art gallery after buying Howard Finster's. And so check this out. I just bought this piece. I just bought it. I got it this trip here delivered. And this is a super early Howard Finster original Into Earth, what does it say, edition of 150. That is just so cool in there. And I got a few more pieces in the back. There's one. And yeah, I'll let you get some of these. That sign you could buy, that's a nice one. Got that on the website. And up here, well, this is kind of neat. I'll show you this. Howard Finster to David Leonardis. That's pretty cool. You know, I mean, normally you don't always use the whole name, so that's pretty cool, kind of rare thing. So yeah, we're going to be redoing this floor and the walls and get everything back up to ship shape. But one of our other amazing accomplishments that we did get was the leak finally stopped. So now we're going to have to fix this leaked floor. But this is going to be the full-on Airbnb that you're going to be able to stay at. And those cabinets made by Howard Finster. Here's an unfinished one, and it's pristine. Well, in its original state. It's a little faded out. Oh, so cool. And then if you look on over there, well, yeah, that's the Howard Finster's Paradise Gardens there. Have this whole kitchen in here. So we're going to make this just so nice. I cannot wait. But we're basically waiting for the right guy, and it took, I think, 14 years to actually fix the roof properly, and Tim did that. I picked up these little sinks. Or I got this little one, I got the bigger one, and that came out of a mansion in Kenilworth. And let's see if we can anger the insect activists as I kill, or check, as I kill an insect. Yeah, so it's going to connect over here to the other, that's the, that other apartment that we saw. Howard Finster used to pop up out of that floor. That was kind of a cool thing. That's the whole basement, and the basement is where Howard Finster worked on his original paintings, and there in the doorway kind of here, it'll say 1,000, and this side 2,000. That's all down. Hey, Rob Merritt. Yep, so this used to be the old frosting room, and this giant behemoth of a TV. Oh my God, the stories I could tell about this TV. I got it from Jimmy Baseball Bat in New York, and oh God, traded him for some Finster. I got the Finster's back. He got some Peldos. This is a cool mirror, and the mirror's got the wood burn molding on it. Now, hey there. Yeah, this used to be my room until it started leaking here the one day, and then that prompted me to find Tim, and there's our neighbors over there, and this old door, actually, here's another door to nowhere. So from here will be the second entrance here into the Airbnb to be in compliance. And yeah, so I can just feel it. Next year, by the end of next year, I would say by this time next year, I will have the whole Airbnb thing happening and people renting it in both spaces. So, well, I guess that's it. We have more and exciting and fabulous other and amazing plans for the Howard Finster Vision House Museum campus, and I will be working towards effectuating those goals. And we're gonna, like right over there, you'll be able to look up and you'll be like, oh, there's a giant tower over there. And down yonder, we're gonna build my contemporary art museum, get some more bed and I'm gonna build a couple of tiny houses over there, and just keep it going. You know what? I work hard in Chicago, and my ideal is I work hard in Chicago 3 weeks and come down here for a week. If I could do that, last year we were 8-day trips like that, and a little short of that this year, but we also did more capital improvements, and as well I had to stand down my bank on my 3-year balloon note, and hopefully that is all wrapping up. And otherwise you'll hear a lot more about that on the DLG TV, and maybe over there on Chit Chat with David Leonardis. Check me out Friday night, channel 25. Pretty sure that's 10:30 to 11, or 10 to 10. No, it's 10:30, because I used to compete with Dave Letterman and a few other the hosts at that time. And but yeah, I love it down here. It's cool. Getting ready to go back to, well, I should say it's hot, but it's a cool place. And getting ready to go back to Chicago, and I'm gonna face a what is it? 37 degree difference in temperature from in one day, going to 2 states. So I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And that's my little museum the Howard Finster Vision House Museum. And if you feel like donating, we got that listed there. Facebook fundraiser, click that on my page. And I'm going to spend that money on this house. So that's it. DLG out.